So here we are with another year for LeBron James to prove his greatness in the NBA. What up, y'all? It's your boy Young Mustard, and today we are here to talk about what LeBron James needs to do and what he can do this season in order to finally get over that hump and surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest player of all time. Now, I know so many people are probably saying LeBron's already the GOAT, or there's no way he can become the GOAT. Let's just put those arguments to the side, because no matter where you fall on the spectrum of how you see LeBron James' career, no one can deny the fact that he is at least a top 3 player of all time. And if you deny that, you're ridiculous. And not only that, but when you look at the greatness that he has shown from the moment that he stepped onto an NBA court, there is no denying that LeBron James is in the conversation for the best basketball player that we have ever seen. And I can make the legitimate argument that he is the best basketball player that we have ever seen from the talent perspective, especially when he was at his peak. And then when you consider the fact that he's been so consistent for such a long period of time, consistently putting up great Hall of Fame caliber numbers, I mean, you gotta give him credit at a certain point. And then when you pair the accolades such as the 3 championships, the 3 finals MVPs, the 4 regular season MVPs, the All-Stars, All-NBAs, I mean, we all know the resume and the list of accolades that LeBron James has. So with all of that, you would think that it speaks for itself. But when you're comparing your legacy to that of Michael Jordan, I mean, it is very obvious that you need to do more than great. You need to exceed excellence, and LeBron James needs to have that one win that we can all look at and say, damn, that is the greatest player of all time. And for many, that was the 2016 NBA Finals, but to me, that just really put him on that same level playing field as Michael Jordan. I don't think that that moment had him surpass Michael Jordan. I just do not subscribe to that narrative, but I definitely think that that put them on a level playing field. And then to see what he did in the 2018 NBA playoffs, that definitely is one of the more impressive runs of all time, not just in LeBron's career, but throughout NBA history. I definitely have to give him some type of credit. We're going to remember that run very similar to Allen Iverson's 2001 run in the NBA playoffs. But moving on to this season, what can LeBron James do this year to put himself as the GOAT, or at least put himself back into that conversation? Because I think a lot of us have kind of dismissed that conversation. I think we've just accepted that people are going to think one way or they're going to think another way. And I think because of that, this conversation is kind of just lost right now. But I do believe that we will be coming back to this conversation at the end of the postseason when LeBron either wins or loses. But looking at this year and this Los Angeles Lakers team, I think this season is very similar to the 93 year that Michael Jordan had. Let's take a little flashback. Michael Jordan in 1993 led the Chicago Bulls to a 57-25 record, and though he did beat the Lakers and the Blazers in the previous years, and he was already a 2-time champion, and some people were already predicting him to go on and actually become the greatest player of all time, some people still doubted how great Michael Jordan still was, because even though he did beat the Lakers, they did not have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Even though he did beat the Blazers, Clyde Drexler, some people did think he was better than Jordan, but after that performance that Jordan put on him, a lot of people started to knock him down a few pegs to his rightful position in the NBA. So then we get to the 3rd year of Michael Jordan's championship aspirations in 1993. And let's just be honest, over there in the West, Charles Barkley is killing it, and a lot of people are starting to take notice. The Phoenix Suns that year won 62 games, they finished 9th in defensive rating, they were 1st in offensive rating, and they were led by their superstar in Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley that year had a career year, averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 52% from the field, around 31% from behind the arc, and also 76 to 77% from the free throw line. This is a guy that was dominant in the paint and one of the best rebounders of all time, and he was still undersized. He was having an amazing and phenomenal year, and leading his team to a 60+ win season was just the cherry on top of it. And all the other supporting pieces played well. You had Dan Marley, who averaged 17 points while shooting 38% from behind the line. Kevin Johnson, who's one of the more underrated point guards of the 90s, averaged 16 points and 8 assists, as well as shooting nearly 50% from the field. You had Richard Dumas, who averaged his 16 points and on 52% field goal shooting. Danny Ainge, Tom Chambers, Cedric Ceballos, Oliver Miller. Basically, this team was very deep, and from a team perspective, you could argue that this team was better. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. You can actually make the legitimate argument from top to bottom that the Phoenix Suns had the better team. But a lot of people need to understand that Michael Jordan made up that difference. When he went to the finals, he dominated them, averaged 40 points a game. Yes, I repeat again, averaged 40 points a game against that team. One of the better defensive teams in the league. Let's not act like this team was some scrub team. A lot of people like to paint that narrative on Michael Jordan's finals opponents. No, this was a 62 win team. You cannot be a scrub team or be an okay team and win 62 games. I don't care what conference you're in. I don't care what kind of competition you're playing. That is a great team, no matter how much you try to take away credit from them. And in that series, he literally went out there and averaged 41 points on 51% shooting from the field. That is ridiculous, along with throwing in 6 assists and nearly 9 rebounds, as well as 2 steals. You gotta give Michael Jordan the credit because he was the difference in order to put the Chicago Bulls on top. And honestly, I think that LeBron James is in a very similar situation. Let's go back to today, because when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, let me just show y'all both of the rosters here. Look at the left side of the screen right now. Now look at the right side of the screen. That is both the Lakers and the Clippers roster. From top to bottom, the Clippers have the better roster. I don't think that's even debatable. When you look at players like Landry Shamet, Marcus Morris now joining that bench, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, I definitely think that this is a very potent roster from top to bottom, not just in their starting lineup, but also on the bench. And in the playoffs, when you only can really go 9 to 10 deep, that is really going to be a huge factor. For example, look at Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell. Those contributions were greatly appreciated to the Toronto Raptors series against the Bucks, and in Fred VanVleet's case, against the Golden State Warriors as well. So with all that being said, and a lot of people actually favoring the Los Angeles Clippers, now is LeBron James' time, because it's not like he has the 2018 Cavs. He has Anthony Davis, who is widely considered one of the top 5 to 10 players in the NBA and is probably going to win the Defensive Player of the Year and is having an MVP caliber season. Pair that with players like Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo, Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, and I know he's a meme for how he started off the season, but even Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has definitely picked up his play over the past couple of months. Shout out to NBA Twitter, because we can do anything when we bully anybody. But you guys see my point here. It's not like LeBron James' team is such a drop off. And if we're comparing him to players like Michael Jordan for the GOAT title, we need to take into consideration that if you're the GOAT, you should be able to make up the difference when it comes to facing tougher opponents. I mean, we've seen LeBron do that on numerous occasions throughout his career, whether it was against the Pistons in 2007, whether it was against the Hawks in 2015. LeBron James has been able to do a lot with less, and he even has more on his roster this year, so I'm expecting LeBron to step up to the plate. I'm expecting him to get the job done, because that's what great players do. For example, look at Kobe Bryant in the 2010 NBA Finals. He did not have the better roster against the Boston Celtics, but he came to play and he showed out and he got the job done. That's the kind of performance that I want to see out of LeBron James. I'm not talking about the 6 for 24 shooting, because I know a lot of people are going to mention that in the comment section. I'm not talking about that, but I'm specifically talking about being the difference between you and the other team. I definitely think LeBron James has it in him, and with all the talking and all the chirping that LeBron James has done throughout the entire offseason, I am expecting him to put in the work. And I know LeBron James has the intentions to put in the work, so I gotta see it. And I gotta be honest with you guys, looking at Kawhi Leonard, this guy is coming for his neck. Kawhi Leonard is in the same city. He could literally rebuild the Clippers as the best team of this decade if he really wanted to. And if I'm being honest with you guys, there's one guy that stands in his way, maybe even two because, Luka Doncic. But there's one guy really that's standing in his way, and that's LeBron James. And I think Kawhi Leonard wants to beat him. That's why he didn't join him. He wants to beat him in the same city. That is some G shit. And LeBron James, I gotta be real with you, man. Kawhi is coming for your throne. You're the king, but he's soon gonna make you the prince if you don't step up. But that concludes this video, you guys. Make sure you drop a like down below so I can keep making fire content just like this. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified after each and every single video that I post. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I will be doing a giveaway to any follower for a $200 gift card to anybody that's following me on Instagram. So make sure you follow me. Social media links are in the description box. Y'all have a great day. It's your boy Young Mustard signing out. Peace.